Hello and welcome to the Announcers Table's classic TNA Impact review, where we watch TNA Impact week by week and review the show. This week we're on the September 24th episode in 2004, and once again I'm joined by Scott Weaver. Scott, how are you?
I'm back again, once again. I'm
But how are
absolutely
you?
fine. I'm absolutely fine. I realise I just ignored your question.
Screw the question.
Yeah, who needs questions? I'm good, thank you. How are you, Dom?
I'm not bad. We've got TNA. That's all we need in
That
2004
is
anyway.
all we need. We don't need love, we need TNA.
But we're still on the road to Victory Road. Last week, obviously we had an excellent match between AJ Styles and Alex Shelley. And more build towards the title picture. Let's see what this week has to offer. But first, we look back at September 24th, 2004, what was happening in the world. In the UK charts, you'll never guess who's number one in the charts.
Let me have a guess. Is it Eric Prydz?
Of course it is. Eric Prydz is still dominating the charts with Call on Me.
He killed it. He absolutely killed it in 2004.
It's unbelievable. This is 3 weeks in a row. Let's see how long this reign of dominance can continue.
I don't think it'll last much longer than 2004, but who knows?
I mean, we're heading towards October, so I mean, if he can somehow stay up and among it throughout October, that would be incredible.
I got full faith in him, I must say.
That's it. We were talking about this song afterwards, after the podcast, and you were like, oh, because of that video. And that's all it is. That's the reason it's up here.
If you haven't seen the video, anybody listening, I won't describe it because I probably won't do it justice. Just go and watch it. Go and watch it, and then you'll realise why it was successful.
I'm sure it was an awakening for many people of our age.
Probably. Definitely. Probably at 6 years old, it probably opened my eyes to a whole new world.
In the box office, Wimbledon, starring Kirsten Dunst and Paul Bettany, is number one.
I love this film.
I've never seen
it. It's really bad, but it's really good. Oh, I really like that film. I wasn't expecting that. So it's the first time I ever saw it was when I first had a TV in my room. And it was on, like, you know, when ITV2 used to show films at like midnight.
Yeah.
But they'd be the most random films you've ever seen. Like Bend It Like Beckham would be on one day, and Wimbledon the next day. So I watched it, and I don't know why, but I was hooked. I loved it. And I was only like 10. And I don't even like tennis, but it was great. I love that film. I watch it every time it's on TV. No word of a lie.
I didn't look it further into it. I just saw the poster was one with a tennis racket. I was like, okay, that's all I need to know.
And Vision.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Vision plays tennis.
Vision plays tennis. Now, if they'd have led with that, I'd been in.
This is long before he was Vision, but
hey, they should have known. Vision should have known.
Absolutely.
If he isn't playing, so I haven't watched WandaVision yet, but if he isn't playing tennis in it, then it's a 0 out of 10 from me.
So I've not watched WandaVision either because I don't really understand it. I don't get it.
So I have Disney Plus. I want to finish season 2 of The Mandalorian, then watch WandaVision.
Have you not finished it yet?
I've watched season 1. We're getting there. We're building.
Oh my word! You need to watch. I want you to have watched it by the time we record next week.
That is almost impossible.
Oh, okay.
I've got too much TNA Impact and Eric Prydz.
You got too much Wimbledon to watch. I'd rather. You know what? You know what? I'd rather you watch Wimbledon than The Mandalorian.
Well, a more iconic piece of film.
It absolutely is. It has a better story.
In gaming, Star Wars Battlefront has been released for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. No Pokemon this week.
This is a strong week.
This is a very strong week.
This has been my favourite week so far. So I love Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, yeah.
One of the first games I ever remember playing with one of my friends when I went round his house was Star Wars Battlefront 2. I loved it. The remakes were rubbish. But the original PS2 versions are so good.
Oh, God, yeah. So I played the remakes not long ago. One of the remakes, the second one. Because it's free on EA Play.
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
I got it. I got it for free. It was free over Christmas on PlayStation Network.
Yeah,
and it was all right. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously the graphics are a lot better. But like,
Oh, they're unreal.
yeah, but like, it's more the nostalgia,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
it's EA, and it's all about microtransactions. So
yeah, that's the only issue with it.
don't like all that.
Mm. In football,
Here we
you
go.
remember that 18-year-old that Man United signed that we were talking about?
Oh yeah, the one that's not going to do anything in his life.
Yeah, well, he's just made his debut for Manchester United against Fenerbahce, and he's only gone and scored a hat trick.
Ah, well, you know what they say. One hit wonder.
Beginner's luck.
Because look, he's going to Federico Makeda it.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. But
I
yeah,
hope.
no, this is an iconic game for Rooney. It's like when he burst on the scene at United,
Yeah.
and obviously from there on, I mean, the sky was literally the limit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't remember watching this game, to be completely honest with you. I've heard about it. I've heard a lot about it, but obviously I was only 6 and I wasn't massively watching football at the time.
Yeah.
But I've heard about it, and obviously it worked for him. I mean, look where he is. Well, not probably look where he is now.
Derby.
Yeah. As I said that, I kind of realised early, but I mean, look what he did with his career. I know we joke, but
Oh, yeah. Oh, we joke because of how good his career was.
yeah, yeah. And because
Unreal.
neither of us support Man United.
Exactly. In the WWE, it was a quiet week, so I had to scratch around. But actually, they held the 5th anniversary episode of SmackDown.
Oh,
How on earth do you think they would celebrate SmackDown's 5th anniversary? Do you think they'd bring back some legends, get some exciting matches going, some title
well,
matches?
I mean, SmackDown's The Rock's show, isn't it?
It is.
You'd have thought that The Rock would be there.
He's got to come back.
You'd have thought.
Uh,
You'd have
so here's
thought
the
they'd have
card.
some big names.
First match, Booker T defeats Paul London in 3 minutes.
Oh. Right.
Spike Dudley defeats Rey Mysterio to retain the Cruiserweight Championship.
Oh, okay. Right. So we've gone with Paul London, Rey Mysterio, and Spike Dudley to open. Nice.
Yep. The Undertaker defeats Gangrel and Viscera in a 2-on-1 handicap match in 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes?
In 2 minutes.
Jesus. What a 5th anniversary.
For your co-main event, they bring out the big guns.
Mm.
Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah defeat Dawn Marie and Tori Wilson.
Oh, the legends of SmackDown, Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah. I remember watching SmackDown with The Rock with Mae Young.
Oh, the classics.
The classics.
And in your main event, Eddie Guerrero and The Big Show versus Kurt Angle and Luther Reigns is a no contest after 12.5 minutes. Happy birthday, SmackDown.
Do you know what? Take The Big Show and Luther Reigns out and...
Oh, yeah.
Just give me Eddie and Kurt. Jeez.
Yeah, even with a no contest then, it's like, it's great.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you just know that...
12 minutes of Eddie and Kurt.
You just know there's a 12-minute headlock with Big Show and Luther Reigns.
Oh, God.
And then Eddie gets caught with a chair or something.
Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, SmackDown.
That's such a horrendous... Because they advertised it as an anniversary show.
Did they? So it wasn't just like, oh, so it happens to be our 5th anniversary. It was actually...
Yeah, no. Apparently they promoted it as such, and... God almighty. So... Having a look at the Wrestling Observer Awards, which you can see a video of us reacting to and picking our own awards on the YouTube channel right now. But looking through those over the years, looking at worst weekly show, at this point in time, Thursday Night SmackDown was actually the worst show, quote unquote.
Was it?
It was, which was surprising.
I mean, it's probably not surprising when you look at that card.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, if you've got people like Eddie, Angle, Taker, Rey Mysterio, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, but it's Eddie and Big Show, and Kurt and Luther Reigns, and
also the champion is JBL.
I mean, yeah,
who didn't appear for some reason? Because of course, why would your champion appear on his 5th anniversary show?
Have your champion on like probably the biggest show they've had for 5 years. So.
But yeah, one other thing that blew me away. So obviously everyone knows New Japan as like the land of the best wrestling in the world at the minute. They were handed worst promotion of the year that year.
Ooh.
And I think they got it for a couple of consecutive years.
So was this during the Dark Hulk Hogan days of New
It
Japan?
could
I
be.
mean, I don't know much about New Japan in the early 2000s, to be completely
Nor do I.
honest.
Nor do I. That's why it blew me away. But
I
I think
knew,
it's just interesting to see like what a promotion can do to their reputation in such a short amount of time.
well, I mean, I can imagine that TNA wasn't anywhere near being the worst promotion
Not
at
at
this.
this point. Give it a couple of years.
Exactly. So it works both ways.
Yeah.
If New Japan can change their reputation from being one of the worst to one of the best, and TNA can go from one of the best to one of the worst, then it's quite remarkable that WWE are consistently middle ground with a lot of fans.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting the worst now, but I think a lot of places have just picked up the slack and they've gone crazy with it. So, I mean, the big dog in the yard always gets targeted like that, so it's understandable. But
I mean,
it's a double-edged sword.
you just have to look at Roman Reigns to see how big dog gets big dogs get targeted.
Yeah. Oh dear.
I'll fluff my words then.
Don't worry, we'll edit around it.
I hope so.
We'll see. But who cares about 5th anniversary shows?
Yeah.
Because that was the night before, by the way, this show. So big shoes to follow after that one.
Oh, yeah.
So we open
Big shoes to fill with Eddie and Kurt and Big Show and Luther Reigns.
in a 12-minute no contest.
Yes, big shoes.
We
Literally with
open
Big Show.
very big shoes.
let
we
you speak.
open with a promo package teasing who will face Jarrett for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship at Victory Road, asking if it'll be Jeff Hardy, Monty Brown, or someone from the outside. And again, lingering on that outsiders thing.
The outside is how they said it.
Yeah.
The outside.
Winks at the camera.
Zoom in.
And then we get a strange new opening that's quite long. There's a thing, and so I picked up on a couple of things in it. So one of the signs that someone held up, it said TNA tickets, $15, 3-hour journey, $75, seeing AJ Styles, priceless.
I mean, it still applies today, doesn't it?
That person paid $90 to watch this show. Just remember that as we go through it. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting to see where AJ is at this point, like being treated like that. Wow.
I didn't think he was at this point, to be completely honest. I thought he was still like he is X Division still, but I didn't realize that he's being pushed as like the biggest thing in the company at this time. I just thought he was being pushed as the biggest thing in the X Division.
Yeah, I guess it's like because he's just a homegrown talent, and it's like, look what we've done.
Yeah.
He probably had an internet wrestling reputation at this point.
Oh, like early days of the IWC definitely would have been like the guy. He would have been everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
He would have been like the Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But the intro shows Jarrett, who's dressed as a magician, and he's in a Roman Colosseum.
At Universal, I think, and he's getting people to take pictures of him.
Yeah, it was bizarre. There was Team Canada, there was Monty Brown, Jeff Hardy, AJ, who I love, is shirtless in gear, posing in front of the Universal like spinning statue thing. I love that.
Doing his full-on like outstretched arm pose and everything.
Raven, who we haven't seen yet. I didn't even know he was here yet or not.
So I did know that he was there. I knew that he was around at this time because a few months before this, at one of the pay-per-views, he was having a program with CM Punk. And Punk was like his disciple kind of thing.
Yes.
We haven't seen him yet.
No, which is weird. Because he gets referenced in this one, but it almost seemed like they were trying not to reference him before.
He's not. That's the thing. They put him in all of like when they do these video packages for who the world title contenders are. He's always in them, but then nobody mentions them when they cut promos.
Maybe that's a good sign. Maybe it's a good sign that it's going to be him. I don't know. I really don't know.
Maybe, or maybe it's a bad sign that he's just not there.
Yeah, he's stuck on a roller coaster.
Yeah,
but we also get Abyss stood in a waterfall. And then we get, finally, we are shown the 3 live crew of Road Dogg, aka BG James, who calls himself B Jizzle,
Yes. Yes.
Ron Killings, and Conan, all dressed in mafia gear, which was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't look like they fit, to be honest.
No, I have no idea why they were in mafia gear. It doesn't seem to fit the gimmick because we see them later on, and it doesn't fit their gimmick at all. But yeah, I was highly entertained regardless.
It was like Vince Russo was just like, right, what can we get these guys to do? Like, what's the limit to this guy? What these guys will do for us for money?
How can I make them quit?
Yeah, how can I push them away from this company?
We're paying them too much. We need them out. What will it take?
I don't want to be the bad guy that fires them, so let's just push them
Yeah.
off the edge.
I presume like they've linked the word crew to mafia, but I just no.
Yeah, but it's KRU, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's a big important factor in it. KRU.
I don't understand it. The name doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Unless it's like 3 of them, they're performing live and they're a crew.
I mean, like, obviously, we see later in the show with the music, like, Ron Killings performs it, but yeah, I don't know.
No one else does.
That's true. I really don't know.
No.
But the show opens in the Impact Zone with Larry ZBYSZKO being dragged, kicking and screaming off of the Simpsons ride at Universal by the tag team champions Chris Harris and Elite Skipper and Christopher Daniels and James Storm. Now,
Yeah.
last week we were told that Daniels and Storm weren't happy with the tag team situation on commentary, having their regular partners win the tag team championships. Obviously, Daniels and Skipper normally being Triple X, and Harris and Storm being America's Most Wanted.
Yeah. So, forgive me if I'm wrong, but previously, Dom, you have said that Amazing Red was the best wrestler to wear a do-rag.
Since
Now,
Hogan.
since Hogan, yeah. Now, both Chris Harris and James Storm came down to the ring wearing do-rags. Are either of them contenders for the best ever do-rag wearing wrestler now, or what do you think?
Keep your eyes out on theannouncerstable.com ranking all of the do-rag wrestlers of all time.
Top 100.
Top 100 do-rag wrestlers.
Even if they've only just worn them once, they'll be on the list.
Number 100, Vince McMahon.
What do you mean, number 1?
Well, he was ECW champion.
And WWE champion.
But he wasn't wearing a do-rag then, so it doesn't count. Only achievements whilst do-ragged count.
Oh, so only the do-ragged achievement. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think that puts the Amazing Red down a few pegs.
Oh, I don't know. It puts James Storm down because he didn't wrestle with it.
Yeah, but Chris Harris goes up then because he is holding a championship.
He is a tag team champion, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I think Chris Harris might be near the top. Spoilers.
And if we are just fully kayfabing this, I mean Hogan dominates.
Yeah, I might go back on my own.
Booker T, he wore one in for a bit, so there's that.
JTG was a tag team champion with a do-rag.
There we go.
This is a list. We're getting ready.
Honestly, keep your eyes out. It's happening. But we're informed by Larry that Russo isn't here tonight as he's speaking to potential number 1 contenders for Jarrett.
Boo.
And we see this throughout the show because, like, there's a lack of the top stars throughout the show, as you'll see later on.
Yeah, it kind of was missing a bit of firepower.
Yeah. We're also informed that ZBYSZKO hates Dusty for some reason and says the championship committee won't let him hijack the show.
Yeah. This is touched upon again later, so I won't say too much. And this was just
no, I was excited, but yeah, America's Most Wanted and Triple X are mad at each other. They want a match with each other, but Larry says not happening. But we can have a tag title match tonight. So the main event will be Harris and Skipper defending against their partners Daniels and Storm. Just before, obviously, we'll come into the match later. But as a story, what do you think of that?
I like it. It's a lot different to literally anything I've ever seen before. I can't remember seeing a story like this in wrestling, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
The only weird thing about this opening segment to me is, and I could be completely wrong here, and please correct me if I am. I think they announced this match last week. I'm convinced at the end of last week's show they said next week we've got a World Tag Team title match between Chris Harris and Elix Skipper and blah, blah, blah.
Did they?
I'm certain they did, because as soon as Larry said, "Well, you four are going to have a match tonight, and it's going to be for the titles," I was like, "What? I already knew that."
Oh, I must have missed that. I'm not sure.
Because I don't
Seems
know
very.
why. In my head, I was like, going into this show, all I knew is that there was going to be a tag title match.
Yeah.
So they must have announced it, because I knew that, and I haven't
Oh.
watched ahead. I've not. It wasn't in any descriptions, anything.
Mm.
So I think they've kind of messed up a little bit, but
Yeah.
that could just be I could be wrong.
The only thing I remember is them saying that Daniels and Storm weren't happy last week.
I remember them saying that, but then I think after that they said they're going to have a match next week for the tag titles.
Interesting.
And I feel like it was like a throwaway comment that Mike Tenay said when someone was like entering or something. I don't know. I might have to go back and watch it, but I'm fairly certain. But I like the story a lot.
Yeah, no, they like WWE love a good. Oh, the tag teams are falling apart. They're gonna. But I've never seen anything like this. The closest I've seen was 2019 Royal Rumble. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable were the tag champs, and so one half of the Revival and one half of AOP were injured. So the other two halves faced them.
Yeah,
But they never said what it was for. They never said if the titles were on the line. They didn't pull the trigger on it regardless. So
it wasn't a full story, was it? It's like, this is one of their main championship storylines.
Yeah. Well, he was on a pre-show as well, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you are. But yeah, Bobby Roode clearly taking his stories over from TNA and pitching them to Vince.
Yeah. For
17 years?
16 years later, yeah. I remember what I did in 2004.
Vince, I've got a hell of a story for you. TNA did in 2004. I'm listening.
Let me send you the Fight TV link.
Oh, God. Do you think Vince knows about Fight TV?
I don't think Vince knows about normal TV.
Well, yeah.
I think Vince thinks that Raw is the only thing that's ever shown on TV.
It's just a 24-hour Raw stream.
Stephanie just sits him down in front of a cardboard box filled with cats, and that's it.
Keeps him entertained. Keeps it.
Just starts throwing things when he wants to change the channel.
But our first match is Gerald Clark versus the X Division champion P.T. Williams with Team Canada. And we have the exact same first note. Scott D'Amore has had his coffee again.
Yep, Scott D'Amore has had his coffee. He is pumped up and ready to go.
He's screaming, and I love it.
Oh, he's so good.
Commentary mentioned that Williams has Styles in his sights, and it's weird because Styles has not mentioned being interested in the X Division title. He hasn't done anything to pursue this. The only thing that's happened between them is P.T. Williams jumping AJ. AJ hasn't done anything. P.T. Williams, the champion, is chasing his challenger.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Why does P.T. Williams have AJ Styles in his sights? Why hasn't AJ Styles got P.T. Williams in his sights?
Yeah.
Why isn't it the other way around?
It's so weird. Like, why is AJ not desperate to win the X Division title? I commented on this last week. First week, we said he got jumped, but he didn't care. He wanted to team with Jeff Hardy. Like, AJ is so uninvolved in this story.
Yeah, it's almost like they know they're just going to have a good match. They don't really care
Yeah.
about building a story. They want as many people to think that AJ Styles is the best wrestler in the company as they can.
Yeah.
So they're just like, he doesn't need to build anything. We'll just say that Petey's chasing him. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But we, of course, saw Jarrell Clark back in our first week. He was with Mikey Batts against Kazarian and Michael Shane. And commentary set this match up as like it's being Clark 6:30 against Williams's Canadian Destroyer, which Clark feels like a jobber. So giving him a 6:30 and like a finisher is weird.
Yeah, and they kept calling him Mr. 6:30.
Yeah, which Ricochet is rolling in his Well, at this point in his nursery, but
yeah. But
yeah,
it's like they're pushing him as Mr. 630, but you know he's not going to win, and you know you're not going to see the 630.
yeah.
And
I
the
don't
only
think the match was on, I don't think the title was online either in this.
no, it wasn't. I'm
Um,
certain it wasn't.
But to start the match, Clark sends Williams to the outside of the Hurricane Rana, and Williams gathers himself, taking counsel from Team Canada, and the crowd begins to chant USA.
Yeah.
Love it. Clark is in control until D'Amore trips him with the hockey stick, allowing Williams to hit him with a facebuster. And then we go into a break. And this time, the breaks were a lot smoother.
Yeah.
Like, he was down and then went to a break. We come back, they're in a headlock. It's natural.
They transitioned it a lot better.
Yeah. We see that a lot happened in the break, but that's fine. That's better than, oh, I'm about to hit a drop kick. Quick, we're going to break. No.
And I really like that they showed what happened during the break.
Yes. No, that is good.
Yeah.
Production is getting better week on week.
Yeah, they're obviously learning every week.
Yeah, which is progress. To say they've been doing this show for about 5 months now. But yeah. We come back from the break to see even more involvement from Team Canada. Scott D'Amore throwing punches on Clark. Not sure how the referee missed that.
He's Canadian.
Especially Scott D'Amore being the world's loudest man.
The ref could be Canadian.
But hopefully.
Maybe.
If we've got a crooked Canadian ref, I'm all on board.
That'd be great.
If it's Earl Hebner, I'm not on board.
What? What's wrong with Earl?
Because he screwed Brett and he's Canadian.
Brett screwed Brett.
Well, that's another conversation. Clark gets back into the match with some flying kicks, a springboard uppercut, and then fisherman suplex. Divine and Young get onto the apron to distract Clark, allowing Williams back into the match, hitting a Russian leg sweep before the Canadian Destroyer to pick up the win. Weird match. What did you make of Jarrell Clark?
So he obviously is athletic. He can do the kind of X Division stuff. So he can springboard, he can do the dives. He doesn't strike me as someone who's going to be around for very long.
Yeah.
He's not like, he didn't strike me as a star. And I know that's such a cliche thing to say.
No, but he's got basic trunks. He's got. There's nothing about him, and they don't sell you about him. Like, he can do a 630. Okay, but what is he? Who is he? Yeah. Don't know. He can do a 630 though.
That's basically Ricochet in WWE.
Well, yeah. Well, now I'm sad.
I know what you mean. He's like, can you remember like the old WWE games where it was like the creator wrestler was like the generic guy?
Yeah.
He was like the generic bald guy with black tights.
He goes to make himself, and it's like, I'm already here.
I'm here. They were ready for me. There were
Gerald
a few.
To WWE confirmed.
He's been there since SmackDown versus Raw 2006. I know what you're on about. There were a few things I liked in this match. First one was when Petey Williams first took control, like 10 seconds into the match or something.
He screams, "Oh, Canada!"
He put his foot on Jarrell Clark and just screamed, "Oh, Canada!" And I love that.
Yeah. And that got the crowd hot once again.
Yeah. Is this the first time we've seen the X Division title belt as well?
It is. Because I was fuming last week they didn't have it.
Yeah.
But yes, finally it's here. What do you think of the design?
It's not my favourite.
It's not great.
No, it's just like
but it does the job.
It's functional. It's functional as a title belt. If you want to word it that way. It's a belt that has a red X on it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think the X Division title, it sounds cliche, but what it represents is so much more important because that is the division that puts Impact on the map. It makes them different from WWE.
And we are in for a treat when it comes to X Division title designs.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
The belt after this was growing up like my favorite belt design. I loved it.
Well, I mean,
when we actually get it, I don't know.
I was gonna say we could be a while off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure if the belt was on the line in this match, but I don't think Clark's gonna be anywhere near it anytime soon. Team Canada celebrate after the match, and it looks like Scott D'Amore beats down Gerald Clark behind his back. But we can't really see. And there's a sign that someone's holding up that says ATWs equals Steve-O.
Yeah, right. I wrote that down as well, and I was going to bring it up if you didn't. What does that mean?
I'm not sure. Does it mean like he's a mentalist like Steve-O? I really don't know.
Well, he's not.
No.
He doesn't do the. So that was what I thought. Is he like a jackass kind of guy who'd jump off stuff? And no, he's not. He's like a sound technical wrestler
who can do a Canadian destroyer.
Yeah, he's like, what? He doesn't even look like him.
Yeah, some signs, someone writes them and no one will ever know the story of them. After the match, we see a highlights package of AJ Styles, the highlight of which being an enziguri to Jarrett's guitar. But forget all that. The music, did you notice?
It was again the drum beat to Get Ready to Fly, wasn't it?
But there was lyrics.
Yeah, it was.
They weren't.
I am.
Exactly. Yes, the I am. I noticed. I was like, oh, we're getting closer. It's coming. I got very excited. I popped far too hard for the words I am.
So,
but I just
have you seen the wrestling film Nacho Libre?
I have.
Can you remember the main song from Nacho Libre?
No.
Okay, so it's literally just a little like Spanish Mexican voices going, I am.
Right.
I am.
So is that what AJ is coming out to next week?
I really hope so. Because that's the best thing about that film.
WWE ECW had Nacho Libre show up, so why can't TNA?
Did they really?
Did. You know how? So I don't know if you know about the ECW Zombie.
Yeah.
So like they would have a recurring thing where someone stupid would come out, and then the Sandman would beat them with a cane, drink a beer, his not good music plays, and then he leaves.
Yeah.
And one week it was Nacho Libre.
Was it?
It was, but it wasn't called Nacho Libre, obviously. He was called something else, but it was Nacho Libre.
If it was actually Jack Black, that'd be amazing.
If it was, it would be. It wasn't. Because WWE cannot afford Jack Black, even then.
They probably can't now.
Oh, they definitely can't now. How about Bad Bunny?
Do you know what, though? He sells merch.
Oh my god, he does. Wow.
He sells a lot of merch.
I was going to say, people make fun of him, but like, if we were from like a Latin background, we'd probably be popping hard for it.
Yeah, if we knew what he was singing about.
If we knew what was going on, we'd be having a great time.
Yeah. It's a shame that he's had to ruin Damian Priest.
Oh, God.
Or did Damian Priest already ruin? We're not going down this tangent.
I'm gonna say, let's not assess Damian Priest.
Me and you have had conversations about Damian Priest before, and none of them are good.
No. I was about to start ranting about Raw again then. No.
Stop it.
No.
Move on.
We get an ad saying that 3 Live Crew are up next.
Yes.
They are described as actually being in the house.
The house. And
my note was, thank you, Lord, who on earth put this stable together?
Somebody bored. Somebody that realised they had 3 guys that had no creative for.
So obviously Ron Killings and Road Dogg were together in WWE in 2000. Very brief, obviously, with Ron Killings being here now, being a cup. He's won the NWA title at this point. Not sure why they followed it up and then thought, you know what, this is missing? Conan.
Did you know what? We need to call him 3 Live Crew.
Yes, we do.
Because that makes sense.
But Crew is spelled K-R-U, of course.
K-R-U, like Krusty Krab.
But
that'd be amazing if Mr. Krabs was the manager.
Oh my god! I mean, Road Dogg and Krusty Krab's promo off. Now we're talking. But they will be facing who come out first: Mike Hannigan and Marcus Dillon. So I tried to Google the jobbers because look at the state of them.
Yeah. I think I
so
know what you're going to say.
Googled Mike Hannigan,
I think I know what you're going to say.
and
And
that was the name of Paul Rudd's character in
yeah.
Friends.
Yes, it was. And you know what? I didn't need to Google that because I already knew it.
I
As
have
soon
never
as-
watched Friends.
Whoa! Okay, you need to watch The
don't
Mandalorian,
know
watch
if that's
Wimbledon,
true.
and watch Friends.
In that order.
No, mix them up.
But yeah, these guys looked like jobbers from the moment they entered. Like, they don't even get halfway down the ramp before Ron Killings and Conan start making their entrance.
Yeah, and one of them looked like the B-Tech version of Spike Dudley, I think.
Yeah, they didn't look great.
I don't know which one it was.
They've picked up two random jobbers here who don't tag together and gone, yeah, go ahead. We'll see if you're any good.
Just get in the ring, let's go on.
Spoilers, they aren't.
No, not great.
But yeah, Killings is rapping his own music at this point as well, which is quite interesting. Not live, but recorded, which is cool. Unfortunately, they weren't in the Mafia outfits that we saw earlier. That would have been great.
No. So I did a little Googling as to why these three were put together.
Right.
And I couldn't find much. There wasn't much background on why, but I did find it says that they were put together to have 3 different races together in a stable.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
is that where we're going with this?
So BG James was being pushed as the Trailer Park Gangster. These are all
Makes
the names.
sense.
These were the names that they were given, by the way.
Right.
Ron Killings is known as the Truth,
Yep.
the Suntan Superman.
Oh, stop. Oh, no. Thank you, Russo.
Yeah. And Conan, I think, has the best one.
I'm scared.
Conan was Magic Stick.
Oh.
Yeah.
That wasn't what I was expecting.
No, it doesn't. So BG James, Trailer Park Gangster, you can kind of get. Ron Killings, the Truth, obviously.
The Truth makes sense. Don't like the other bit.
No. We're not going to mention that bit again. Conan, Magic Stick.
I mean, Russo probably knows something that I don't, but I don't know where they got that from.
I've got no idea. And it's probably some old like WCW inside joke that I don't know.
Oh, God. Yeah, it is. And he's popped the boys. And it's like, okay, great. What's that done for your ratings?
Exactly. Exactly.
But Conan gets on the mic and asks where the dogs are at, which the crowd then proceed to bark. So surprised they got involved.
Where are the dogs?
Where are the dogs at?
There's a heavy dog theme.
There is. He then pumps up the crowd in Spanish, which I thought he was going to give us a full-blown promo, but no, it was just a short, 3 seconds, which I suppose would normally be filled by BG James, but we're told he isn't here because his house was damaged in some way with a hurricane in Pensacola, Florida. We know he's okay, so that's good.
Yeah, we're all right talking about it because we know that he's fine.
Yes. I think this group probably needs him as a mouthpiece because I think Truth's a good promo now, but I don't think he would be at this point.
I don't think
Conan got the crowd pumped, but I don't think he's great on the mic either. So
no, it needs Road Dogg there, I think.
Yeah.
Which is an odd sentence to say.
There aren't many things that need Road Dogg, but this is
this is one of the very few things in life that need a Road Dogg.
It's the New Age Outlaws, and it's these, and that's it.
Maybe that's why Conan was asking where the dogs are.
Oh, because I know where he is. He's in Pensacola.
Why didn't anyone tell Conan?
So if Don West had gone up and gone, excuse me, Road Dogg, yeah, he's in Pensacola, lad.
Conan's just been walking around all day asking people where the dogs are.
Just no one will tell him where Road Dogg is.
Does anyone know where my dog is?
Excuse me, have you seen Road Dogg? No, sorry, mate.
Stop barking at me. I want to know where my friend is.
This isn't a gimmick. Please stop. But the match starts. Conan begins doing some technical wrestling with one of the jobbers, and it just does not look great.
Really? I didn't mind it.
I really didn't like it, especially technical wrestling in sweatpants doesn't work for me. You need to be Zack Sabre Jr., Daniel Bryan, tights.
Oh, just said his name.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Conan
what you
looked sloppy.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I didn't mind it.
And this is where we're told that the matches for Victory Road will begin to be announced next week. And they start hinting that Ron Killings, or Truth, I'm just going to call him Truth because he's called the Truth. He's a potential for the title picture. He's held the title already twice. And it's weird to see where he is now compared to how he's being billed here.
Yeah, he doesn't look like somebody that's going to be challenging for the world title anytime soon, let's be honest.
No, he's a good wrestler. Like, I enjoy his work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in a generality. As
well,
in
it's
in the gimmick that he's in now,
Hmm.
he doesn't look like somebody that's going to be challenging.
Well, it's like we loved Team Canada. If Johnny Devine challenged Jeff Jarrett at Victory Road, we'd be a bit confused.
Yeah, because he's not the one that's being pushed as the guy that could. It's Bobby Roode that is.
Yeah. But also, you look at where Truth is today as well, and that's as far from the title picture as you can get.
I mean, yeah.
But it shows his versatility. Like, he can do a bit of everything.
He's obviously talented.
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculously talented. And he looks exactly the same now as he did then.
He has not aged a day.
He's not changed at all.
It's bizarre.
If you've told me that this was 2021 just with a worse camera, I'd be like, okay.
2021, but we've left the cameras at home. We're filming this on our phones.
Yeah, we'll do it on a Nokia 3320.
Conan wipes out Dillon with Rolling Thunder, and then he goes to throw Hannigan over the top rope.
Oh.
Hannigan botches it hard and just bounces off the rope before, like, just falling through the middle rope.
Yeah, he just threw himself at the ropes, didn't he? Like,
oh, it was so bad.
It was like, have you seen the videos of Enzo Amore?
No.
When Enzo was doing it. Enzo died.
Oh, when he almost snapped his neck.
No, that was one of them, but he had a few of them where he just couldn't go over the top. He'd just be thrown into them.
Oh, dear.
And then there was the one where he nearly snapped his neck.
Yeah.
Which was bad.
But yeah, this looked really bad. Like, this was the point where I gave up on these jobbers. It's like, right, no. If you can't go over the top rope, don't bother.
Yeah, we're never going to see these two again.
Oh, God, no. Yeah, they look like they've been brought in just to trial if they're any good, and they're just not.
No.
Thanks
for coming, guys. Here's you $20 now.
Yeah, thanks for putting 3 live crew over. See you in a bit.
Yeah.
Killing hits a splits pedigree for the win, which is like, I saw him setting up for a pedigree. I was like, oh, and then he hits a splits in the middle of it, and I'm like, oh.
They called it the lie detector.
Oh, I didn't notice what they called it. Thank you.
Yeah, so they called it the lie detector.
Truth. Very good.
Yeah, which I thought was good. And again, I was like you. I thought, why is he's going to hit a pedigree? Like, okay. But the splits was mad. It looked really good.
And you can see why they don't let him use it in WWE, because if you use anything that looks like a pedigree and they kick out, no.
No, you can't be having that.
But overall, I didn't like Conan in this match. I don't know what it is. I couldn't get behind him. He's 40 at the time. And if you take into account now that R-Truth is 49, you can see which one of them aged better.
Yeah. I personally didn't mind Conan.
I didn't like his technical stuff. I just didn't think it looked smooth or great. It looked awkward to me.
Did you know? I don't know if this is just because of his age or something. He was very like round-shouldered. His shoulders were hunched.
Yeah, he's a very tall man to say that, because he used to wrestle lucha, but he's very tall. He's almost too tall for it.
Yeah, it looked a bit awkward. I know what you mean by that, but I just looked past it, I think.
I mean, the fact that the jobbers they were wrestling weren't great probably doesn't help. So I'm willing to give him benefit of the doubt for this week. But if he's this, I don't know, I've got a funny feeling that I'm not going to get on board with Conan's push if it is indeed coming.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah. We're then shown a recap of Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett's feud, hinting at the fact that it might be Hardy versus Jarrett at Victory Road. And then we see a highlight package from the king of the mountain, Jeff Jarrett. A lot of guitar shots, a lot of him just dressed as a magician. And then he comes out for his promo, and commentary continued to talk about the outsider.
Yeah, and this week, no elite guard.
No, weird 1 week gimmick.
They came out, did nothing, not seen next week.
And the thing is, they didn't even get involved in the match. They did nothing.
What's the point of them? If they're not even going to be there next week, what's the point?
And it would have made all the sense in the world if they worked for Jarrett to be out for this moment because of what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Be there to protect him.
Right. But Jarrett says he's tired of waiting for his number one contender and demands an answer today for his victory over opponent, saying that he'll take on anyone. He then says that he would even take on an outsider before flicking a toothpick at the camera, much like one Scott Hall or Razor Ramon.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he came out with a toothpick, and I was like, I know what you're going to do with that, lad. And he did it.
I noticed how he went outsider again and then stared at the camera. I didn't realise the little toothpick.
Yeah, he takes a toothpick out of his mouth and flicks it at the camera, almost to bash you over the head with it even harder.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry that I'm sorry I brought it up in week 1.
I think by week 2, I'd have gone, hang on, I'm an idiot. I know what this is. And if the toothpick wasn't enough, like everything else, just every time they say outsiders, they can't use another word for it.
No. And every time they say the word outsider, it's paused on for like 10 seconds just to like, okay, we're going to drop this word, and then we're going to let that lie, and now we'll carry on.
But I didn't mind the toothpick thing just because I really like Razor Ramon, like classic Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
And I like the reference, but I'm dreading 2004 Razor Ramon because I know that, like, so I've listened to the audiobook version of Death of WCW. He was a mess in 2000. I can only imagine how much of a mess he was in 2004. This is like DDP coming to save his life.
Yeah, it's probably going to make for quite grim viewing.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. Like, I know Nash is all right at this stage, but
it'd probably be worse viewing for us watching this and him not being all right at the minute. But
yeah, thankfully he's okay.
He's good at the minute, so we can watch it, and much like Road Dogg's house, know that he's fine.
Yeah, like we know he gets a lot better as well, thankfully. Like looking at this, actually, I was thinking about it. Has anyone who we've seen on screen passed? Because obviously we know what wrestling's like.
Yeah.
The only person I can think of is Dusty.
Yeah, that's probably the only one I can think. And
We've
when we've been talking about the jobbers, when I've been Googling them, I have been making sure to check that it's like they've not passed
we
on.
make fun of them.
Yeah, we don't want to make fun of somebody that's passed away, but like, thankfully, nobody so far.
We're on a good run.
Yeah.
So far.
So far.
But Jarrett demands that Russo comes out, but he's met with Monty Brown with his definitely bootleg Disturbed music.
I just want to jump in.
Yep.
Why did Jarrett call out Vince Russo when it's already been made clear that he's not there?
Russo, hop in the car, get down here.
But that's just...
I don't know.
He's just didn't get it. It's like the very first thing that Larry ZBYSZKO said on the show is, Vince Russo's not here tonight. He's working on the world title picture.
Oh, Jarrett doesn't watch TNA.
Jarrett comes out and is like, Vince Russo, get out here now. Like, he's not here.
He just gets told when to show up, and he comes out and he's like, Russo, come out. And it's like, he's not here. It's like, send out Monty Brown. Stuff it. Go for it. But yeah, Monty Brown comes out with his bootleg Disturbed music. It's
I love it.
They haven't even tried to hide it.
It's just a soundbite from that song.
It's crazy that not only did they get away with it then, but it's somehow still up. Surely they had to pay Disturbed some money for that.
I love it. It's do you know what?
Oh, I love it. But how on earth did they get away with it?
I've got no idea, but fair play that they did.
Monty is also wearing a questionable coat once again. I don't know if you're on board with this one or not.
I'm on board with anything Monty wears.
Wow.
I'm a big Monty Brown guy.
I know what 2004 fashion looks like. You might regret that statement.
I have the right to retract that statement in the future.
But Brown claims that he is Jarrett's next opponent. He says not to worry about Raven or Jeff Hardy. Does Jeff's little dance.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of.
He did Raven's pose as well.
Oh, did he? I missed that.
Yeah, he did Raven's pose and he did Abyss's pose.
Yeah, and he called Abyss constipated, which...
Yeah.
Would anyone do that about Kane or The Undertaker?
So, I think the reason he did is because of Abyss's pose.
Yeah.
Where he, like, puts his arms together and looks like he's squeezing.
So
So
and
I
it makes a
kind
farty pyro noise when it does it as well.
I kinda get it.
I get it, but should you bury your monster like that?
If Abyss ends up pinning him, then it'll be alright, but who knows?
That'd be a good match. Although, would it? I don't know if he can pounce Abyss.
He could pounce whoever he wants to pounce.
I suppose he can. He
I
pounced.
would defend Monty Brown to the
He's going to
death.
pounce the Impact Zone.
I hope so.
Jarrett says that Brown is an ex-jock that didn't make it in the NFL before saying that this is his mountain and he is the king of it before slapping Brown. They trade punches before security and referees try and break them up. And then Dusty wanders out looking confused.
Why did he say that he didn't make it in the NFL when he did, first off?
I don't know.
He
I don't know
made
anything
it
about his
he
NFL
made
career.
He made it further than Brock did.
Well,
And
yeah. But at this point, we didn't
Brock.
know that Brock was going to the NFL.
Has he not had his tryout yet?
Oh, yeah, he has. No, you're
Yeah.
right.
At the start of that season.
Wow.
Yeah, so Brock didn't make it. Monty did. And yeah, Dusty looks lost.
Yeah. Like he just wanders out looking all confused, and then we go to an advert, and I'm just like, is Dusty okay? We come back, Larry and Dusty are at ringside. Larry says that Dusty cannot hijack the show. Dusty appeals for Hardy to get a return match against Jarrett, showing once again that he cares more about this than Jeff does.
Yeah.
Why does Dusty care so much?
We need to get him on board with AJ Styles to try and get the X Division match built up a little bit.
Yeah, no one actually wants to be in matches, but everyone else is going to push it for them.
Yeah, Dusty's just the main hype man for every match.
Oh my god, it's so weird. But
Larry, this by the way was my favorite segment of the show.
I was confused, but I loved it.
I loved it so much.
Yeah. Larry says that another member of the championship committee will be here next week to talk some sense into Dusty, which he instantly deduces will be, quotes, that lowlife Terry Funk, and saying that he will kick his booty. What a promo from Dusty.
I love that they didn't even try and make it sound like, oh, who's this committee member going to be? It's like, that's Terry Funk.
That low-life Terry Funk.
I'll kick his booty.
As much as whatever Dusty is saying is nonsense 90% of the time, I love it. He's so captivating.
So when the segment ended, he just carried on talking as well.
Yeah, it felt like no one was going to stop him.
And at the very start of this was the best, when he was just chanting Hardy.
Yeah. It's
Hardy.
Oh, it's so weird. Is Jeff not here? Like, can they not afford him this week?
Don't know. He's probably doing some painting somewhere.
Well, it felt like it was going to be one of those situations where you always get them in WWE, where like the champion will come out and cut a promo, and then one contender comes out, and then the next comes out, and then the next come out, and it's like, we'll have a 6-man tag.
Yeah, SmackDown.
But no, just Monty.
Monty's the only one that cares.
He's the only one who's bothered to show up this week.
He's the only one that's actually challenged Jeff as well.
You know what that means, though?
What?
He's not in the meeting with Russo.
Oh, yeah, I guess. But then also...
They're going to retcon it, but I'm thinking too far ahead. I'm giving them too much credit, but it seems like he's not in the meeting.
Because of the next segment, I think you are, because if he wasn't in the
meeting...
Oh,
yeah, that's a good point.
Neither was somebody else.
Are you speaking of one Frankie Capone?
I might be.
But next, we are shown a highlight package of Abyss, with him potentially attacking 2 women, but it doesn't show that.
In the ring, by the way.
Yeah,
Not
that was
outside of a ring, just for
that was
context.
weird. Well, it's weird no matter where it happens, I think.
Yeah, but it's probably best to qualify that this wasn't just like candid footage.
Instead, he just did it at work.
This wasn't him just beating up a woman in the street. This was
2 women.
two women, sorry, in the street. This was him in a ring. And apparently they're going to be trained wrestlers, so I'd have thought they'd have been okay.
It was just really weird that we didn't get any context to seeing this man just attack 2 women. But yeah. And then after the package of seeing Abyss just annihilate people, a very upbeat Frankie Capone with a huge purple hat comes out.
Oh, I forgot about that.
My first note is, oh dear, poor Frankie.
I forgot.
Upon my first Google, I found out that he was Al Capone's brother.
Yep, so did I, which was a big turn up for the Bucks.
Yeah, before realizing maybe it's not him.
Yeah.
Had a deeper dive into cage match. Capone is 45 years old currently. He was Lariato Pro Wrestling, which is the company that Big Cass recently appeared in, tag team champion with Storm Thomas in 2019, but lost the titles to the Good Brothers in September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
around somewhat.
He wrestled the Good Brothers in September.
That's mad.
That's crazy.
So he must be, because correct me if I'm wrong, that Lariato's got something to do with TNA?
I think the Good Brothers own it in some capacity.
Okay.
I think it's theirs.
He's still somewhat around.
Yeah, at age 45. Which actually, on reflection, isn't as old as I think it is.
No.
I just think of like my dad's like around 45, but like AJ Styles is also like 43, so
yeah,
I guess it's quite weird.
Wrestling age is like some. I didn't realize how old Big E was until the other day.
Yeah, Shayna Baszler's 40.
What?
Yeah,
is she really?
She's 40.
As if you just dropped that bomb,
right? Wrestlers don't age properly.
That's mental.
But yeah, as of December this year, he became the NAWA Tag Team Champion with a different partner, Logan Creed.
So yeah, I saw that when I Googled him, and I misread it as NWA. So I thought, oh.
No, I don't think he's quite in the NWA.
I mean, I really got confused because I was like, he's NWA Tag Team Champion. And then it was like, oh no, it's NAWA. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what?
But yeah, he's somewhat relevant still. He's probably one of the most active jobbers that we've seen so far.
I mean, fair play to him. He's got a good lineage in the Capone family.
Well, yeah, it goes back generations. Capone jumps Abyss before the bell, but Abyss no-sells it, turns around, and Capone, proper comedy sells the fear, runs the ropes before getting wiped out with a clothesline. And then Abyss hits a move. I don't know what it's called. It's like a Samoa drop, but like a backbreaker.
He's got a name for it.
I couldn't find it.
It's like, I remember it because
it's like a torture rack.
It's like I think he calls it a torture rack buster or something like that.
Okay.
I might have just made that up, but he uses it throughout his TNA run, but it has a name. I just can't remember it.
Capone sells it like he's having a fit, like he's shaking his legs. Before a black hole slam, thank you, ma'am. Abyss wins in 53 seconds.
Again, I love the black hole slam.
Yeah, very good. Capone's probably my second favorite jobber we've seen so far.
Second?
You know the first.
Oh, okay. So
the one and only Brian O.
My notes have Brian O in them because he was in the video package for Abyss.
What?
Yes, he was. His match from the first episode that we covered was in the video package.
Oh, the glorious return of Brian O.
Yeah. It made me pop. It made me write a note and everything.
If we never see him again, I will be disappointed, but I won't be surprised.
He's probably the person that's got over with us most.
Oh, gotcha. Comfortably.
Absolutely. He's become like a little inside joke now.
It's him, Eric Prydz, and Larry ZBYSZKO.
Yeah, and Pokemon out every week.
Well, yeah. It's the stable you never knew you wanted. But yeah, I think he's probably the best wrestler we've seen so far that obviously isn't attached with the company. I think he's sold really well for him. Obviously, like selling like a fit, it's a bit comedic, but for someone like Abyss, it works. And I think he sold well with his facials. I think he was really good to say this match only lasted 53 seconds.
Yeah, and I've just done a quick Google, and Abyss's move was called the shock treatment.
Okay, that makes sense.
There you go. It was annoying me that I couldn't remember it, so I had a little.
Yeah.
But no, this match, it did what it needed to do. Not Brino. Frankie Capone did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He's probably my favourite jobber so far.
Besides Brian.
Yeah, but
Oh, well, I suppose Brian isn't a jobber in our hearts.
no, how dare you?
But with 12 minutes of the show left, it's time for the main event.
With a 30-minute time limit.
Yeah, so the match is Wildcat Chris Harris and Primetime Elix Skipper versus Christopher Daniels and Cowboy James Storm. At the top of the show, they mentioned the title matches are given a 30-minute time limit. I appreciate that, but the show's only 42 minutes long.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Don't think Larry's in trouble here.
They do address it though.
Yeah, they do, and it made me hate it more. So we'll go over it now. So the commentary say that if it ends before, if TV time runs out before the end of the match, then we'll show it at the start of next week. No,
hate that.
Don't you dare!
Hated it.
That makes me so angry. You cannot do that.
Can you imagine if they did? Can you
I'd
imagine
been so angry.
if you were watching it live and you were like, "Oh, this is a good match. Let's like sit down and watch this," and then it's like, "Oh, to see the end of this match, watch next week." It's like, what?
It's so WCW.
It's such a bad idea.
So I don't know if you know about this one. One of the Halloween Havocs that WCW did. The main event was Goldberg versus DDP.
Right.
It's a classic match. However, Hogan was on the card earlier against. Oh, I think it was. Oh, it was his match with Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
Which is bad.
Yeah.
Is very
bad. Warrior no cells.
That's every match of Warriors, but it's the one where Hulk Hogan tries to throw a fireball in his face and it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that match went far too long, and the end of DDP versus Goldberg got cut off, so they had to show it on Nitro for free the next night.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it just stank of that. Like, I know it's free TV, it's free, whatever, but I really was not happy when they said this might go over to next week.
No, it worried me.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're watching it on Fight TV, we can see how much time's left.
Yeah.
So I was looking at it like, oh no, we've only got like 6 minutes left, and they're not really going to like the end.
Yeah, I was concerned. Another thing that concerned me, as the match was going on, I just thought, I swear to God, if this was a plan all along from Christopher Daniels and James Storm, or vice versa, I'm going to be furious.
How do you mean?
This is I don't know. It doesn't make sense. That's why I'd been mad about it. But you know what Russo's like? If it was a swerve where they were like, "Oh, we had this planned all along. We were actually friends." I was prepared for it.
So I get you. So if after the match they started celebrating, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I was prepared for it, and I was angry about it preemptively.
You got your anger ready.
Yeah, because I know who's booking this.
Do you know what I was angry about during this match?
Is it the thing I'm about to say?
Say it and I'll say yes and no.
America's Most Wanted and Triple X make their entrances together despite not teaming together tonight.
That isn't what I was going to say. Do you
What
want
was-
to know what I was going to say?
What was you going to say?
Jeff Hammond.
Oh, that was next.
NASCAR.
Yeah, The only thing I'm mad about with that is that he's coming back in October, and the next episode's in October.
Why isn't he there?
Oh, he's got the NASCAR.
I want him back.
I don't ever.
Yeah. I really like that they entered with their partners.
It didn't sit right with me, but then because of what happens in the match, it made sense. And I quite liked it.
I thought it made the whole dynamic feel real.
Yeah.
So you kind of felt like, okay, these two are friends, they're gonna come out together, but they don't want to compete together against each other.
Yeah.
To me, it just made it feel a little bit more. They made the feud feel a little bit more real. Like
Yeah.
the story felt a bit more real to
I
me.
suppose it also addresses the issue of whose music do you play?
Yeah, yeah. They're
'Cause,
not
like
gonna have 4 lots of music.
oh god, not even 4 lots of music, the same music twice, then the
Yeah,
same music twice.
yeah. Or
Oh god.
1 lot of music, then the other, then back to the first, then back to the
Oh
other.
god. Yeah,
That
no, actually, this was the only way they could have done it on reflection.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought in fact, my first note for the match was I really liked how they came out together.
Mm. But before the match, they're all stood together, the 2 separate teams slash opposition. Basically, AMW and Triple X are stood together, and it's all respectful to start with. But then Skipper jumps Storm straight away before the match, immediately taking control. Yeah, then that's when we're reminded that Jeff Hammond is devastatingly gone until the end of September.
Yeah, sorry to have stolen the spot.
No, it's fine. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes. It's the easiest way to make sure you get everything. Skipper throws Storm over the top rope, but he skins the cat, showing the jobber how it's done. Storm takes control with an atomic drop and clotheslines, and a clothesline, and then tags in Skipper. Skipper tags in Harris, causing AMW to be the 2 legal men. And immediately I was like, "Oh, this is going to be good."
Yeah.
But then they refuse to fight each other.
Yeah.
And Storm immediately tags out to Daniels, allowing us our first look at the Fallen Angel, actually.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? In ring. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously this story will be repeated throughout the match, but what do you think of them tagging out, making sure that they don't fight each other?
It reminded me of, when you get the intergender matches.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought.
So when you get whoever, there was one on AEW with Shaq this past
Yeah.
week. So whenever
It's very similar to this match.
I mean, Shaq and James Storm are basically the same person.
I was going to say Chris Harris, but
Do you know what? So James Storm really impressed me in this match because he did a Hurricane Rana, and I don't think I've ever seen him do a Hurricane Rana before.
yeah,
Anyway.
no, good.
So it reminded the way they were tagging in and out reminded me of the mixed gender matches.
Yeah,
And it added to the story. So all in all, I didn't mind it.
yeah. Harris and Daniels get in the ring and immediately lock as the ref does everything he can to make sure he gets in the way. Like, he just kept moving more in the way. My only criticism, really, so far. Harris takes control with a clothesline before catching Daniels into a set-up powerbomb, which is class. Like, Daniels flies at him and he just catches him, bang, straight down.
Yeah.
Daniels regains control of a dropkick and an enziguri and tags in Storm, looking for a double team maneuver on Harris, but he refuses to attack his teammate.
I really like that.
That was good. That was better than the first one.
When Storm's just stood there,
Yeah.
just watching him run the ropes and then hit the elbow, is like, okay, that's good.
Yeah. And then he just lets him tag in Skipper just to make sure that he's not fighting his teammate. I found this dynamic interesting, but if it carried on much longer where they kept going, no, not me, I'm going to tag out. Like, I think they reached a sweet spot where it was like, okay, we get it now. Let's not do this forever.
They kept redoing the spot. I would have been like, okay, lads, let's like.
Yeah, I was worried that it was going to get boring fast.
But I think they timed it probably great.
Yeah. This is when we're told that if the match goes over TV time, we'll get the conclusion next week. And at the pace it was moving, I was concerned.
That's what I mean. So when they said that, I was like, okay, we've only got like 5 minutes left, and we're nowhere near a finish.
Mm.
Like, what's gonna go on here? If we have to sit and wait till next week,
Yeah.
well, we wouldn't. But
Well, yeah, thankfully. Storm is tagged in by Daniels with Harris still in the ring. So Storm and Harris are in the ring. He pushes Harris into Skipper as he's slowly making his way over to force the tag before dominating primetime. And the two men show some incredible kick-based offense and counters, just dodging each other. Brilliant stuff. Harris gets in the ring, but Storm lashes out at him. Skipper grabs a chair to attack Storm, but Harris stops him, and Harris lays him out with a clothesline. I quite liked that he was defending his teammate. That was a different dynamic that I hadn't thought about.
yeah, so they kind of had the thing where they weren't going to compete against the teammate, but they never had the thing where it was going to be like protect the teammate.
Yeah. Didn't like I didn't know it was you as I lashed out. Like, who else was it going to be?
Yeah.
The other guy's your teammate. But yeah, I liked the bit with the chair where he comes in with the chair and he's like, "No, you're not doing that." Also makes me think that America's Most Wanted are faces, whereas Triple X are heels, which is an interesting dynamic. But we haven't really been told.
That's the kind of feel I got from it, because Daniels was doing some healy things, like when he was trying to force Storm to hit Harris. It was kind of like AMW were the faces and Triple X were the heels, which was, it made the dynamic even better, I think, because they were mixed heel faces.
It's just we haven't had too much of an inkling as to which way they go, but this was a good insight. Daniels takes advantage, hitting the best moonsault ever, but he only gets a 2. What do you think of the best moonsault ever?
I absolutely love it. I do. I just think it's perfect for him, really,
Yeah,
because it's kind of it's like an indie name, isn't it?
yeah.
It's not exactly like a refined name, but he hits it perfect every single time. So
Apart from this
yeah, he kind of lands on his head, but I won't pass that.
time.
It's just, I love it, and he's
Yeah.
still doing it today.
Yeah, it's very indie-rific. He's begging WWE not to sign him.
Oh god, yeah.
Harris is then thrown to the outside, and Daniels picks up the chair that's still in the ring. It looks like he's trying to move it out of the way. It doesn't look like he's trying to attack anyone. But Skipper catches him with the chair in hands, but Daniels and him start arguing. He's pleading his innocence. But this lets Storm hit a super kick to Skipper and pin him for 1, 2, 3 new NWA Tag Team Champions in Christopher Daniels and Cowboy James Storm.
Yeah, very unexpected.
It's a weird storyline. It was weird to see where it goes, but yeah, this is probably a good progression for it.
Yeah, and it does make me think that this is probably going to be them just bouncing the titles back and forth in this whole they can't get along thing.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised that you give it a couple of weeks and it'll be Chris Harris and Neelix Skipper have cashed in their rematch clause.
Ugh.
And then they win the titles back, and they keep doing it. And the only thing that I can't see where they're going with this is, how are they going to eventually get it back onto an actual team?
There's only one team who can take it,
Are you
and it's
thinking
Team Canada.
Team Canada? Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
But
yeah.
then in this feud, yeah.
The thing is, right?
Until the pay-per-view, they're not going to be near this feud.
Yeah. See, I enjoyed this match,
Yeah.
but I don't need any more of this story for me.
No, but I think we're going to get it.
Yeah, I want to see America's Most Wanted versus Triple X now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think this match built it, but like, because they kept the belts on Daniels and Storm, who aren't partners, they're gonna keep going forward with this whole. These two aren't even a team.
Yeah, if you make it a multi-team match, then that's how you get it off them, and then both teams can go back to their normal places. But
Yeah.
I just
they do some. They're gonna. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do some weird Vince Russo booking, and it's gonna be like, whoever gets the pin gets to choose. They'll do a fatal four-way. They'll do a fatal four-way, and whoever gets the pin in the fatal four-way will decide who they want to partner with.
It'd be a good match, but it's cheap for the tag titles, like what WWE did with the New Day and Street Profits, which was gross. I don't know if you remember that.
I'd probably put it to the back of my mind, to be honest.
So Kofi and Woods had the SmackDown tag titles. Street Profits had the Raw tag titles.
Oh,
They got
yeah.
drafted on opposite brands, so they traded the belts, and it's just like,
Yeah,
that's not how that works. It's not the same thing.
I remember that now.
Gross
Yeah,
stuff.
grim.
One thing I did like with this, when Skipper is being pinned, Daniels like goes to break it up originally, but then he's like, no, and he stops himself, which
Yeah.
is quite an interesting thing. He sells it so well.
He's how old would he have been at this point?
Oh, so he's 50 now. So 17 years ago, he'd have been
So he's
33.
still, that's like,
He's a veteran.
yeah, in TNA, yeah.
Oh
Compared
yeah, no.
guys.
Compared to like Styles and Pete
Yeah.
Williams.
Exactly. Well, that's you can just see that he's really good even then, and I thought he was been a lot younger.
And it doesn't seem like they're putting him anywhere near the top title at the minute. I mean, he wasn't in that meeting with Russo, so
No, who was in that meeting with Russo?
you can only assume Jeff was, because that's the only reason he doesn't give a shit.
Well, we can only assume that Terry Funk was there.
If Terry Funk was there, then I'm on board, so long as he eventually gets his booty kicked.
You took it where I wanted to take it.
I'm just worried.
Booty kicking action.
Yeah. I'm worried that we might see Dusty versus Terry Funk on pay-per-view.
Oh, why would you be worried?
Because they're both elderly men. Like, way past their primes.
You don't want to see some booty kicking?
Yes and no.
It'd be something for us to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I want weird stuff with TNA, and that's the weirdest stuff you can get.
Oh, yeah, okay. If that's the weirdest thing you think you're gonna get from doing this, then wouldn't count your chickens.
It's been quite tame so far.
So far.
Yeah.
So
But
far.
overall, I thought this was an okay show. No major issues, but nothing massively stood out like the Stars and Shelley's match did last week. You could feel that the bigger stars weren't there this week. The likes of Hardy, Styles, Brian O, Road Dogg.
Throw that in there.
But yeah, it was very promo heavy. Only 4 matches on the card, and one of them lasting 53 seconds. I seem downbeat about the show, but I'm excited for the next one because of how they built it, and I'm happy with the build. It's just, it felt like, oh, we haven't got much going on in this card. Quick, stick a tag title change at the end.
Yeah. It was like they didn't have much star power, so they figured like we need to have something to get people talking after the show.
Yeah.
So let's just throw in a tag title change and hopefully that'll get people talking about the show.
Yeah, it was comfortably the highlight of the show. Best match. Longest match we've had in TNA just because it went 12 minutes, which is longer than any of the other matches have been allowed to go so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, excited for next week to see what the number 1 contendership looks like and start to see a picture of what Victory Road's going to look like.
Yeah, so hopefully they actually do tell us what's going to happen and they don't keep drawing it out with this whole outsiders thing because I'm ready to know what direction they're going in so we can stop thinking, oh, is it going to be Jeff Hardy? Is it going to be Abyss? Is it going to be Raven? Is it going to be Monty Brett? You can stop thinking that and just build towards the actual pay-per-view.
Because I'm genuinely not sure because they've given a case for everyone, really.
No, I've got no idea. I've absolutely got no idea. I would have thought it'd be Monty Brown, but after this week, probably, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. That confrontation almost made it more concrete for me.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I really don't know anymore.
For me, it feels like they're built on this outsiders thing too much to not bring in. I feel like they're going to bring in, obviously, Hall and Nash with Jarrett.
Yeah.
And I feel like Vince Russo is going to bring in his own outsider. I think. I don't know.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's how I
Hulk
feel they're going to
Hogan.
go. No, not yet.
Wait 6 years.
Oh, you wait. You wait till the ramp gets there.
Oh God.
Ugh.
But that covers everything for today. Check the description. We'll have links to our Twitter and our website where Scott is pumping out daily news.
Oh, yeah.
Check out the rest of the episodes and our podcast, which has just started. This week we covered AEW's Revolution, which will have happened now. We'll have a different topic this week. We don't know what it is yet, but it'll be there.
It'll be something.
It'll certainly be something. But yeah, thank you for listening once again.